Hi, my name is Marco Bombino, and this is my video for the Dokdo Field Trip 2021 by Epic. This video is on the history of Dokdo. They gave us many resources to help us, including this cool comic book outlining the story of Dokdo and why it belongs to Korea. Let's take a quick look at our journey to Ulondo Island. First, we arrived in Hupo Terminal on the east coast and took the JH ferry from Hupo to Ulondo. Here is a picture of inside the cabin, and here we have just arrived at Ulondo Island after 3 hours. Of course, I took a nice picture with the boat, and after a day in Ulondo, we got our boarding pass to head on to the next ferry that will take us to Dokdo Island. We finally arrived in Dokdo after about 1.5 hours. South Korea is very prideful for the Dokdo Island, so if there's one thing they'll want you to know, it's this.
dokdo는 한국 땅! Yes!
It takes about 1.5 hours from Ulondo, so you're going to want to get a few nice pictures. Now let's learn about Dokdo. Most people don't know this, but Dokdo is actually composed of 91 islands, including their two main islands, which is the east and west, separated by the ferry terminal. We arrived here at the east side of the island, where you can walk around and get a good view of Korean history. Speaking of history, what better place to go than the Dokdo Museum, where we were given a very knowledgeable guide and very passionate on the fact that Dokdo is Korean. One of the main factors is location. So Dokdo is only 87.4 kilometers from Ulondo, whereas it's 157.5 kilometers from the furthest Japanese islands, therefore proving Dokdo is Korean. Further evidence are these maps drawn by Japanese explorers long time ago, where it clearly shows Dokdo is part of Korean territory as well. There's been many name changes: Usando, Sambongdo, Gajido, Sokdo, and finally Dokdo in 1906. Japan's argument is that Dokdo belongs to them and Korea is an illegal occupation of the islands. However, Korea believes that they suffered a historical injustice from the Japanese colonization, and therefore Dokdo falls properly under Korean sovereignty, not subject to any of these disputes, which have been ongoing with Japan since 1905 and is a territorial battle historically, geographically, and in terms of international law. There are 15 patrol officers at one time. There are 40 in total, rotating every 50 days. On a clear day, you can see Dokdo from Ulondo Island about 35 days a year, but it cannot be seen from Japan. We were granted this Dokdo Residency card, which is special because Dokdo can only be accessed from the ferry terminal if the weather permits. And remember, Dokdo is Korean territory. Thanks for joining!